You are listening to Larry Conners, USA.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
This is Larry Conners USA. Larry Conners USA.
Friday's trip was extremely successful. The Vice President had an opportunity to see our operations and the full expanse of them. When we assumed office in January, we inherited a system that was entirely dismantled, and we've had to rebuild it from scratch, which we are very well underway in doing.
No, you're not. You didn't inherit anything that's broken. You broke it. This is June 28, 2021. Those are the words of our Secretary of Department of Homeland Security, Mayorkas. He's talking about the trip that Harris finally made. VP Harris finally went to the border, as you know, last Friday. And ever since, they've been trying to make it look bigger and better than it was. And, of course, the best thing and the quickest play, you reach in to pull the card out, the one you really want, and this one, it would be the Trump card. Blame Trump for it. We inherited a disaster when we took office. You inherited the disaster at that point because the caravans were already moving forward after it became clear that Biden had been elected, even though not clear to the American public, obviously, at the time. And I'd be one of them. I questioned it. Still do, but we'll come back to that. But they had already heard Biden on a debate stage and Harris and all the other Democrats candidates say, no, it should not be illegal to cross our border. So that's where it broke to begin with. And then once he got in office, immediately, Biden signed an executive order dropping the stay in Mexico policy, which meant that all those who were coming, trying to get into our U.S., had to stay in Mexico until their case for asylum was adjudicated. We're going to get into this great more detail. I mean, success or failure. It's criticized by both sides. We'll show you how. That's just the Harris visit. And you're going to get to hear from her. She did talk to reporters with a jet Air Force Two running in the background, so it's kind of hard to hear. But Mayorkas did appear on one of the network shows over the weekend, and so he was obviously making some comments that they thought needed to be emphasized. And, of course, you had Trump have an Ohio rally attending for a congressional candidate, but, of course, took time to preach to his choir. Why not? Was that a success or failure? Criticized by both sides again. Which, by the way, did Harris make that trip to to the border, El Paso, the other day, because Trump had said this week he's going to be going to the border? Riddle me that. You got an answer? I think we all do. There are also more problems with the vaccines, more heart ailments being reported. Some of those who had the vaccine and still testing positive for COVID. Concern about children and cases where employers and our schools are demanding the vaccine must be taken by anyone working for them or attending that school, or they don't get in. AOC Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is now blaming the GOP and the media for the crime. It could not be the Democrats' fault. It could not be their fault that they let blue cities and states burn, be looted, and defunding police and pulling money out and resources. No, it couldn't be their problem. She thinks it's all imagined and exaggerated by the media, the state-controlled media that you have control over. And then we have Olympian Gwen Berry, hopeful, winning third at the hammer throw the other day, but display when the national anthem was being played and the national U.S. flag being raised, turned her back on it. Does she have real concern about human rights? Did she have any discussion with Nike about China? She now has a new sponsor. Nike would not pick her up again. What, maybe she just wasn't qualified as far as they wanted athletics. I doubt it was because of race. What do you think? I doubt it's because she had a negative attitude about the U.S. What do you think? She's got a new sponsor, Puma, out of Germany. But there's a story there you might not have heard. We'll get into that for you. And if she really wants to show some bravery, if she gets to the Olympics in Tokyo, Japan, because right now she's still trying out. She placed third the other day. If she gets there, you want to show real bravery? Well, you want to condemn the bravery of men and women who fought for this country? Wave the Taiwanese flag while you're in Japan. Lock and load. Ready. On the right.
You can email Larry at LarryConnersUSA@gmail.com. LarryConnersUSA@gmail.com.